A very good evening and a warm welcome to News Live on Channel Live. I'm Vidushni Sadis Kumar.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Javed Bongzo and we begin with the headlines of tonight's news.
The President pledges to find a justifiable solution to the Saitam Medical Institute issue acceptable for everyone. 150 new houses built in plantation areas have been vested in the people. Minister Lakshman Kiriyala revealed that the new constitution is to be passed in a referendum. People vehemently protest against the discharging of waste in the Colombo city to Ekala Othakale area. Nara investigation confirms that there was no impact to fisheries industry from the Port City project. A powerful criminal gang leader in the south has been taken into custody. Lasith Malinga returns to Sri Lanka T20 cricket pool. The Kenyan government's bid to close the largest refugee camp in the world has been suspended.
In your local stories tonight, President Maithripala Sirisena vows that he will not allow any injustice for students in medical faculties of universities as a result of Malabar Private Medical Institute. He told a ceremony in Norelia today, justice will be met out to all students taking impartial action as the president in settling this problem.
The president noted that children who are in the medical faculties of universities are in a problematic situation due to the Saitam problem. He said that the government will fulfill all responsibilities of fulfilling the duty to everyone. He noted that as the president of this country, he wished to clearly state that the government will not allow any injustice to be caused to any university student. Therefore, he made a request from those children to desist from the boycotting of classes. They should attend classes daily to strengthen their future. He said that he will not allow any obstacle for the future of children studying in medical faculties. Universities will further strengthen providing necessary facilities. The quality and standard of those universities will further be improved. Measures will also be taken to strengthen free education for the benefits of students not only in medical colleges but also in all faculties of universities. The other main issue was the future of students who qualified to enter universities but not given opportunity for them to further educate themselves due to lack of placements. A large number of students leave the country for overseas studies annually. Therefore, we should think about a program to keep them in the country by providing necessary facilities. The high-quality standard is essential for all education institutes. Referring to the Malabar Saitam problem, the president said that as a government, it will take every possible step to solve this issue. There is no need to create any conflict relating to this matter. The president promised to hold discussions with parents and teachers of children studying in medical faculties, along with parents of students at Saitam Malabar. A program will be presented to provide a justifiable solution to this problem, acceptable for everyone. He made this remark, adding that this problem will be solved by the government as soon as possible.
And 150 new houses built in plantation areas were vested in the people at a ceremony held under the patronage of the President Maithripala Sirisena. This was a fulfillment of a pledge given by the good governance to the people in plantations. Hootville new village at Hootville Estate in Agrapathana in Norelia was vested in the people by the President. It consists of 150 houses. The village was built under the concept of our own land, house owned by us, a new village for the upcountry. It is another way forward of building new villages with houses in plantations instead of lined rooms. A 550 square feet house was built in a 7-perch block of land. It has 2 rooms, a dining room, a kitchen and a bathroom. President was warmly welcomed by house recipients on his arrival at the village to attend the opening ceremony. People greeted the president with great honor, fulfilling traditional customs. Addressing the mass rally at Thalawakale Urban Council grounds, which followed the opening of the new village, the president said that the majority of the poor people are addicted to narcotics, which is the reason for the increase in poverty in rural areas. People in villages should get better economic standards and good health. their children should be given a better education. A unity in the family is very essential. If people are not using narcotics, then their family will become a happy unit. Necessary social welfare activities will be carried out to create a better economic standard among people in plantations. The President pledged to do everything for the welfare of those people. President Maithripala Sirisena distributed land title deeds among recipients at the ceremony. A commemorative stamp and a first day cover were issued to mark the occasion. Several programs, including the providing of a glass of milk for school children and granting financial assistance to the program, took place under the patronage of the President. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumartunga, Ministers P. Digambaran, Manu Ganeshan, M.H.M. Halim, Faiza Mustafa, Arjun Ranatunga and State Minister V.S. Radhakrishnan were among the large gathering attended the mass rally.
President Maithripala Sirisena pledges to take prompt action to supply rice to the people at a low price by importing rice by the government if traders are not selling rice at controlled price. President made this pledge when he addressed a meeting attended by rice traders in Kotagala Nuwara today. The President said that the government will import rice from next week if private traders fail to sell rice at low prices. The government planned to supply rice, even incurring a loss.
Leader of the House, Minister Lakshman Kiriyala, says the new constitution will be passed in a referendum. Meanwhile, Speaker Karu Jayasuriya told the Parliament today that special attention was focused on the security of parliamentarian M.A. Sumanthiran. At the inception of parliamentary session, Speaker Karu Jayasuriya informed that he has focused attention on the privilege issue raised by TNA MP M.A. Sumanthiran, claiming that there was a plan to assassinate him. He informed Parliament that there was a stern concern on the security of the MP. Measures have been taken to create awareness among security divisions to take necessary action to protect the MP.
Meanwhile, a daily loan scheme at low interest rate is to be launched through Samurdhi banks to free rural folk caught up in a debt trap of high-interest village money lenders. This was disclosed by Minister S.B. Dissanayake when he participated in the debate on the draft bill aimed at making Divinaguma to Samurdhi again. This draft bill was passed in Parliament with amendments in Parliament today. Minister S.B. Dissanayake said that action will be taken to make these banks as Samurdhi bank societies. Necessary seed capital will be provided to low-income earners who are not receiving subsidies. These bank societies will become money lenders for them. Samurdhi banks were active in the past with adequate liquidity and it had the ability to provide financial assistance to rural people. But those banks have failed to fulfill the capital needs of those low-income owners. Under this setup, villagers have caught up in the debt trap of high-interest rural money lenders. They were used to give loans at an interest rate of 5% per day. A program to provide loans for low-income earners in villages at an interest rate of 0.25% is now being devised. The money of Samurdhi Bank movement will be used to relieve these persons from their mortgages. These banks will be taken to the doorsteps of persons with small capital needs and met out their requirements, he said.
A procession and a mass rally were held in Nugegoda today to protest against Saitam. It is organized by Anti-Saitam Students' Public Campaign. Students carrying placards against Saitam marched towards Nugegoda from Sri Jayawardhanapura University. A mass rally was held at Ananda Samrakun Open Air Theatre thereafter. Representatives of the JVP, other political parties and trade unions also attended the rally.
The chairman of Sri Lanka Association of Accounting Technicians Institute, JMU B. Jayasekara, says private universities are essential for the country's development. Mr. Jayasekara noted that qualified students were enrolled in that university and they should be given education facilities under proper educational methodologies. Therefore, it is essential to inquire into this matter following a proper observation. It is unbecoming to deprive of this the opportunity received by these students. There was an attempt to gain petty objectives, creating an anti-Saitam wave in the country. But more suitable thing is to open avenues for everyone to further their higher education. It will provide opportunities to create better graduates in the country.
The final workshop on strategic planning and solving collective problems of SARC Development Foundation began in Colombo today. The aim is to endorse the new methodology that could be used to fund the welfare of the region more efficiently. The SARC Foundation was established on a decision taken at the 16th SARC Summit held in Thimphu, Bhutan. The aim was to improve cooperation and welfare among SARC countries. According to the SARC Charter, a proposal was made at the 7th SARC Finance Ministers meeting to prepare a strategic mechanism to handle funds efficiently. As a result, the new plan was prepared by the Office of the Secretary General of SARC Development Foundation. The aim of the two-day workshop is to endorse the plan after discussions. Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake was the chief guest at the inauguration ceremony.
Today, our inspiring brainstorming session is more focused on the development funds within the region in an endeavor to promote the welfare of the people of the SARC region, to improve the quality of life, accelerating economic growth, social progress, and poverty alleviation of the region. Financing of long-term regional programs and projects, provision of funds of infrastructure-related projects in the area of energy, power, transportation, telecommunication, environment, tourism had been in the initial focus of the attention of the SDF. Provision for both public and private sector provide additional flexibility with loans extendable to government institutions, municipal corporations, and also private sector corporate bodies.
Now, residents in Ekala participated in a protest demonstration demanding the authorities to halt the discharging of garbage in Colombo City to Othakale area. Hundreds of people continued the protest demonstration for around 2 hours, blocking the number 5 road at Jayala Ekala Junction on Kuranga Kurunagala Road. Protest demonstrators called off their campaign following the pledge given by Deputy Minister Ranjan Ramanayake to find a solution to the problem after discussing it with the President and the Prime Minister.
The United States claims that Sri Lanka has the potential to become the next Asian tiger. Acting Under Secretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs Bruce Votan says the US will work in close collaboration with Sri Lanka as a close friend in the future. The US Secretary made this observation when he addressed a ceremony to mark the 69th National Independence Day of Sri Lanka held in Washington recently. He said that the level of cooperation between the two countries is unprecedented at present. Sri Lankan Ambassador in US Prasad Karyavasam graced the occasion. The third COPE report revealed that the loss caused to the state by 15 state-owned enterprises in 3 years was in the region of 110 billion rupees. This was disclosed by COPE chairman and MP Sunil Handuneti at a media conference in Parliamentary Complex today. Telecommunication Regulatory Commission has paid 1,145 million rupees to an insurance company without an agreement for the insurance cover to a sum of $88,655 million obtained for the construction work of the Lotus Tower. A sum of 600 million rupees was spent for the distribution of silk clothing, 250 million rupees for John Kotalawal Academy, 2.5 million rupees for the printing of 100,000 Dhamma school books, 39.8 million rupees for the purchase of 2 jeeps, and 5.1 million rupees for physical health equipment. According to the COPE report, all these transactions have caused the government an immense financial loss. In addition, the Sri Lanka Cricket has built Suryavava Cricket Stadium without a feasibility study, causing a loss of 5 billion rupees. The COPE report revealed that the National Lotteries Board has spent 64.8 million rupees for advertising boards to propagate political activities. A sum of 66 million rupees was spent for 4 trucks during the previous presidential election period. The estimated loss incurred at Hambantota Port in 2015 was around 37.19 billion rupees. The COPE said that the Oluville port cannot be put into productive use due to the filling of sand even after spending $46 million and 531 million rupees. COPE chairman and MP Sunil Handuneti said that Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation has spent a sum of 34.7 million rupees for propaganda advertisements for a single presidential candidate in 2015. It has dropped the NOAA project midway after spending 3.4 million rupees. The loss incurred by Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation in 2015 was 317 million rupees. This was indicated in the COPE report, which was prepared irrespective of political party differences.
Now let's have a look around Asia in 1 minute.
Korean researchers have developed a method to efficiently treat cancer using food poisoning bacteria. Researchers have used the Salmonella bacteria to develop the treatment. Japanese scientists have observed the creation of a new planetary system for the first time. The observation may lead to a better understanding of how our solar system was formed. South Korean artists filed a lawsuit against President Park Geun-hye and a former aide seeking damages for systematically trying to silence them. An explosion at a chemical plant in China's Anhui province injures 2. Though modern LED lights often dominate the city streets and skylines, traditional lanterns handmade by an elderly man in East China's Zhejiang province continue to prove popular among his many loyal fans.
NARA Institute investigation revealed that fisheries industry would not be affected by the implementation of the Port City project. This was disclosed by Minister Mahinda Amaravira at a meeting held at the Fisheries Ministry today. Officials of NARA Institute, Port City Project and Fisheries Ministry attended the meeting. NARA Institute has conducted an environmental impact investigation using sonar tests. Considering accusations and statements made by a group of fishermen on Port City Project, the required stocks of sand are being mined 10 kilometers away from the sea beach. These investigations reveal that fisheries activities will not be affected by this sand mining and the project. Fisheries Minister Mahinda Amaravira also revealed that a sum of 500 million rupees has been allocated from this project for the development of the fishing community.
Sri Lanka's Minister of Foreign Affairs Mangala Samaravira has arrived on an official visit to Maldives this morning. The minister was received at the Wellin International Airport by the Maldives Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Mohammad Asim. Minister Samaravira is visiting the Maldives upon the invitation of Foreign Minister Asim to lead the Sri Lankan delegation at the third session of the Maldives-Sri Lanka Joint Commission held today at the Maldives Foreign Affairs Ministry in a statement. During the visit, the Sri Lankan Foreign Minister will be meeting Minister Asim and also paying a courtesy call on the President of Maldives, Abdullah Yamin Abdul Gayam. The Maldives-Sri Lanka Joint Commission was established in 1984 with the primary aim of strengthening bilateral cooperation between the two countries. Meanwhile, the meeting of the senior officials of the third session of the Maldives-Sri Lanka Joint Commission was held recently at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
The Disaster Management Center has taken several measures to face the drought. 130,000 families in several districts are suffering from the drought at present. Addressing a media conference in Colombo today, Minister Anru Priyadarshini says the government provides prompt relief for them. Mr. Anru Priyadarshini revealed that a very low harvest is expected this year as the work on only 35% of the cultivations has been carried out up to now. If the rain is delayed, the Yala season cultivations could also be affected. The President has given a directive at a meeting to purchase 200 bowsers. Government agents and divisional secretaries have been directed to supply water as and when it is required. The government is ready to provide money for relief activities. The rain is expected by end March. He expressed a belief that the prevailing drought will be eased gradually thereafter. Drought relief is pouring into the country from foreign countries for the welfare of drought-affected people. The first flight carrying 25 metric tons of drought relief arrived in the island from Karachi yesterday. This donation was made by Pakistan to Sri Lanka. It was brought to the island by an IL-76 cargo plane belonging to Pakistan Air Force. The aim of the donation is to further strengthen friendly relations between Sri Lanka and Pakistan.
Measures have been taken to control influenza viral fever, which is now being spread rapidly in Bibile area. The Chief Medical Officer of Bibile-based hospital, Dr. Sunil Senaratyapa, called upon the residents in the area to seek prompt treatment if they get any symptoms of coughing, flu, cold and purging. Around 30 patients suffering from influenza viral fever are now receiving treatment at Bibile-based hospital. 4 pregnant mothers were among them. Chief Medical Superintendent of the hospital, Sunil Senaratyapa, said that they are receiving treatment at a separate ward. Hospital staff is taking measures to create awareness on the disease among the people in the area. A powerful criminal gang leader in South and his accomplice have been taken into custody at Minuwangoda along with some weapons this morning. The police say that this gang leader was a key suspect in several murders. Arumahandi Janit Madhushankar de Silva, who is suspected for the involvement in these murders in Ambalangoda, and one of his supporters, Kaludeva Udara Sampath, were arrested by the police. They were accused for the murder of former chairman of Ratgama Pradesha Sabha, Manoj Mendis. The police also suspect them for their alleged involvement in the triple murder of mother, father and child in a same family at a trade stall in Madampe, Idamtota on the 5th of December last year. These suspects were taken into custody when they were travelling in a car this morning. Issuing a media release, police headquarters revealed that a T-55 firearm, a pistol and a small quantity of narcotics was seized from their possession.
A program of cleaning Nigambo Lagoon was held yesterday. The Department of Coast Conservation and Coastal Resources Management Department has conducted this campaign to clean the Nigambo Lagoon. Gampa District Secretary and Nigambo Divisional Secretary have extended their support for this purpose. All state institutions were involved in the cleaning program. It was aimed at maintaining the lagoon environment and combating dengue menace.
Now in your stock update, the All Shares Price Index closed at 6,094.15 points, dropped by 2.24 points, and the S&P SL20 Index closed at 3,488.50 points, increased by 3.30 points at the end of trading in the Colombo Stock Exchange today. Turnover was over 700 million rupees.
Welcome back, and in foreign stories, the High Court in Kenya has blocked the government's bid to close the largest refugee camp in the world. A directive to shut the Dadaab camp and forcibly repatriate about 260,000 Somali refugees living there was issued last year.
The deadline for its closure had been extended until May, but a High Court judge ruled the decision, which was tantamount to an act of group persecution. The government had argued it was an issue of security. It said that attacks on its soil by the Somalia-based Al-Shabaab group had been planned in the camp. Dadaab was set up in 1991 to house families fleeing conflict in Somalia, and some people have been living there for more than 20 years. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and lobby group Kituo Cha Sharia challenged the decision in court, saying it was discriminative and contrary to international law. Amnesty International welcomed the ruling, saying it affirmed Kenya's legal obligation to protect people who seek safety from harm and persecution.
Now some foreign news in brief. Russia's main opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, has been found guilty of embezzlement and handed a 5-year suspended sentence. It bars him from running for president next year against Vladimir Putin. But Navalny, who denies the charges, has vowed to take part in the race regardless. It was not immediately clear if this was legally possible. Native American groups protested outside the White House yesterday. They said they would step up efforts to block the development of energy infrastructure across the United States to prevent future water contamination. This follows the defeat for the Standing Rock Sioux in its battle against the $3.8 billion Dakota Access Pipeline. The permit was widely regarded as inevitable after President Donald Trump ordered to speed up processing the application.
And in sports news, Sri Lanka ace bowler Lasith Malinga has been recalled to the Sri Lanka T20 cricket pool. He will join the Sri Lanka team during their forthcoming Australian tour. This was disclosed by Sri Lanka cricket president Thilanga Sumatipala at a media conference in Colombo this morning. Pace bowler Lasith Malinga says it took 1.5 years for him to recover from a leg injury he sustained in 2008. He said that he is once again suffering from a similar injury. This time too, it took 1.5 years for him to get some cure for that injury. He noted that he will inform the selection committee when he is prepared to play for Sri Lanka again. Thereafter, the selection committee will decide as to whether they are going to give him a chance to play for the country once again.
මම සූදානම් කියන එක ඊට පස්සේ ඒගොල්ලෝ තීරණය කරයි මම එක් දින තරඟයට යොදා ගන්නවද නැද්ද කියන එක.
නායකත්වය ලැබුණොත් ඔබ බාර ගන්නවද T20 කණ්ඩායමෙන්?
මම හිතන්නේ මම T20 කණ්ඩායමේ නායකත්වයේ ඉන්නකොට තමයි ලොකු සාය මම ආයෙන්නේ පාදයේ ආබාධය නිසා අවුරුදු 33ක ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් මම තව වසර කීයක් ක්‍රීඩා කරයිද දන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් යම් කිසි හේතුවක් මත හිතුනොත් මගේ දැනුම හෝ මගේ දෙයක් ක්‍රීඩාවට ලබා ගන්න ඕන කියලා මේ අවස්ථාවක් ආවොත් මම ඒ දෙයට සහාය දක්වනවා.
The Sri Lanka squad for the upcoming T20 cricket tournament against Australia was named today. Dinesh Chandimal and Dhananjay De Silva were not included in the team. Dilshan Munavira, Milinda Siriwardana and Chamara Kapugedara have been recalled. Upul Taranga is the captain of the team. The other players in the squad are Niroshan Dikwella, Asela Gunaratna, Kusal Mendis, Sachit Patirana, Sikuge Prasanna, Nuwan Kulasekara, Isru Dana, Dasun Chanaka, Lakshan Sandakan and Vikram Sanjay.
Now, Austria's Max Stock broke the world record speed for standard mountain bikes on gravel in the Atacama Desert. In ideal conditions, the 42-year-old reached a top speed of over 167 kilometers per hour on his run down a mountain in the Chilean desert. After years of preparation, Stock's VMAX project came to fruition on the 1,200-meter-long slope, a new world record. Stock set his first speed record of 187 kilometers per hour on snow in Les Arcs in 1999, beating his mark in the Chilean Andes in 2007 with over 210 kilometers per hour. Having done everything he could on the snow, he then moved his focus to gravel slopes, and in 2011 he sped down the volcanic cone of Cerro Negro in Nicaragua at 164.95 kilometers per hour. After 8 test runs on the course, which started on a 45-degree slope at 3,972 meters altitude, Stock set his record 11 seconds and 650 meters into his run. Now in your weather forecast, the Met Department says that except for a few showers in the Ratnapura, Galle and Mathura districts, mainly dry weather with colder nights and mornings is expected to continue over most parts of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and southern provinces during the morning.
And that's it for tonight's news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.